Hi guys, how you getting on? Are you doing alright? I hope you're doing just fine, and I welcome you back to my video blog. Now, today I'm going to talk about YouTube, and it's quite ironic because these videos are published on YouTube, right? So what else there is to say about YouTube? Sure, you know everything about it, right? There's people with their own channels, posting videos, talking about all sorts of different things, and I would imagine at this stage there's billions of videos on YouTube available for everyone to watch. Well, to be honest with you, I know that there are a few countries in the world where YouTube is not accessible, but for the rest of the world, for the vast majority of this planet's population, YouTube is accessible. And the reason I'm actually bringing up the whole YouTube topic is I think that these days TV has become less relevant in our lives than YouTube, right? Say a decade ago, 10 or 15 years ago, when we look at English learning, one of the advice that's given to the English students would have been watch plenty of films on TV and listen to radio in English and all that. And to tell you the truth, this advice still circulates in the English teaching sphere, sector. I'm struggling to come up with a proper word, right? But you get the drift, right? This whole notion of watching TV and listening to radio to get plenty of English input is pretty much the same as it was 20 years ago. And to be honest with you, I'm talking about the same things. Numerous times I've been referring to watching films. Well, I use Netflix myself, right? So it's internet-based, right? I don't really watch the old TV box, okay? And when I drive, then I would be probably listening to radio. So in a car, yeah, radio is still relevant. But what I'm trying to get at in this video is that YouTube is by far, it's hands down the best platform for all of us to get exposed to the English language. And there is no excuse why you would be trying to look up things in your native language, because there's everything out there in English. You bet. Whatever information you're trying to look for, it's all in English. Well, there's obviously loads of videos out there in the other big languages such as German, Spanish, you name it. But obviously, if you're an English learner and your objective is to improve your English, there's no reason why you wouldn't be trying to do everything in English. And if you've been following my blog for a while, you will know that input doesn't equal output. What you take in, what you watch on YouTube doesn't necessarily result in your ability to speak the same way. You won't be able to replicate it in your speech or writing unless you actually try to mimic all that. And that's where the shadowing steps in. And actually, you may want to check out this link on my blog, Accent Adventure, where I'm talking about shadowing films on Netflix. And that's what I do. That's, as a matter of fact, how I developed my American pronunciation, right? But what I'm saying is, these days, you can find virtually everything on YouTube. Whatever your area of interest is, whether you're interested in technology, sports, cooking, whatever it is, you name it, it's all on YouTube. And for instance, I have subscribed for, I don't know, 20, 40 different channels, and then obviously those videos published on those channels, the updates pop up on your homepage and you can go ahead and watch them. And lately I've been watching some philosopher guy, for instance, and he talks at great lengths about various political and economical issues, and he looks at them from totally different perspectives, you know, and it's very interesting. And the fact of the matter is that pretty much every YouTube video is recorded using very simple language. So whether it's this philosopher guy that I'm watching or it's some bodybuilder, for those unaware, I'm kind of into working out, you know, and fitness and bodybuilding. And there's a few bodybuilding channels that I follow. So what I was going to say, whether it's a highly intellectual philosopher or some bodybuilder, the language is pretty much the same. Well, the philosopher would be using some some more sophisticated terms and language, if you know what I mean, but it's very easy to follow them anyway. Nobody speaks in a way that's very difficult to understand. And as a matter of fact, language used in films and movies is more difficult to follow because it's all a different setting. You know, in an action movie, people are running around and shouting and using heavy slang and all that. And that's why some of us are struggling to understand films when we watch them. But when someone records a video for posting on YouTube, just like I do now, I have to make sure that the message is conveyed freely. It's very easy to understand, that I pronounce words clearly, and I speak in easy to understand sentences and so on and so forth. So whatever video you watch on YouTube, chances are you will understand what's being said there quite easily, okay? Unless, of course, you are just a beginner English learner, in which case you wouldn't be even able to understand what I'm saying now. So you're clearly not just a beginner, right? Because my channel and my website is all for lower intermediate, starting from lower intermediate English students, I would imagine, who have difficulties with expressing themselves, right? So what I'm saying is basically YouTube is the new TV and radio all in one. It's one of the biggest, well, I would say that it is by far the biggest source that's at our disposal that we can tap into virtually for free. We just have to pay for the internet connection, but these days internet connections are easily affordable as well, so it's not really an issue, right? So these days, basically, there is no excuse for someone to be wondering, how can I immerse myself in English? Jesus Christ, just open up the internet browser or the YouTube app on your smart device and just start browsing YouTube, finding videos that you like, that piques your interest, and just start watching them, right? And don't forget to mimic them. Watch a video and then try and retell the story that was in the video afterwards. Learn new vocabulary, new expressions, and so on and so forth. You know the drill, right? That's what I'm going on about in all my videos. So, if you have anything to say about this whole thing, please comment in the comment section below, obviously, and chat to you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.